What is Power BI and how does it help? We'll also break down the key features of Power BI, including its drag and drop visuals, data connections, and interactivity. Let's begin with a simple question. What is Power BI? Power BI is a tool developed by Microsoft that helps you take raw data like numbers in a spreadsheet and turn it into visual stories like charts and dashboards. Think of it as a way to see patterns, trends, and insights that are hard to spot by just looking at rows and columns. Why was Power BI created? Every day, businesses collect tons of data from sales numbers to website clicks. But having data isn't the same as understanding it. That's where Power BI steps in. It helps people make smarter decisions by making the data easier to read and explore. Imagine your college collects data about student performance. Instead of handing teachers a long spreadsheet, they can use Power BI to show a graph of grades over time, which subjects students are struggling in, the effect of attendance on performance. Suddenly, the data becomes actionable. Core features of Power BI. Let's look at what makes Power BI so useful, especially for beginners. Visualizations. Power BI lets you create visuals like bar charts, maps, pie charts, cards, and tables. You can drag and drop your data to build these visuals, which means you don't need coding skills. Data connection. You can pull in data from different places, Excel files, CSV files, websites, and even databases. Power BI helps you bring it all into one place. Interactivity. The reports are not just static images. You can click on parts of the visuals to filter, explore, or highlight different parts of your data. Sharing and publishing. Once your report is ready, you can publish it online and let others explore it through interactive dashboards. What is Power BI Desktop? There are different parts of Power BI, but in this course, we'll focus on Power BI Desktop. It's a free application you install on your computer. It's where you load your data, clean and prepare it, create your visuals, build your dashboards. Once you are happy with your work, you can upload it to the Power BI service if you want to share it with others. Real world examples of how Power BI helps. Let's look at how Power BI is used outside the classroom. In business, companies use it to track sales, monitor performance, and report profits in real time. In healthcare, hospitals use it to monitor patient flow, track resources, and spot health trends. In education, schools use it to track student progress, attendance, and identify areas for improvement. In short, Power BI helps you go from data to decisions quickly and clearly. Installing Power BI and exploring the interface. Now that you understand what Power BI is and how it can help you visualize data, it's time to install Power BI Desktop and get comfortable with its layout. Don't worry, it's simpler than you think. We'll walk through each step together so you can follow along with confidence. How to install Power BI Desktop? Let's start with the installation process. Power BI Desktop is free and works on Windows. Here is how to get it. You can just go to this Chrome and here is the website. You can just click on new tab and here you can write Power BI and write in here. You can just click on this Power BI data visualization and here you can just click on this get started. Now when you just scroll down, here's the option download for free. But you can also go to this Microsoft Store. You can just click in here and click in the search bar as Power BI and click on this. And you can just click on this one. And you can just click on this option as we have already downloaded that. But here will be the option as get. So you can just click on that and the application will be downloaded on your computer. So if you just want to download it from the Chrome, you can just click on this download for free and it will be downloaded. So you can just click on this download for free and you have all the options and requirements as well, and these are all the plans as well if you want to upgrade your software. So you have all these options available on this Microsoft official website. The store option, this one is often smoother as it handles updates automatically. Install the application. Follow the installation prompts like you would for any regular software. Once done, launch Power BI Desktop from your Start menu. Here you can see when you just click on this search, and here we have Power BI desktop, and when you just click on that, it will be opened. If you are using a university computer or a shared device, you might need administrator permission. In that case, check with your IT department or use a personal laptop. Getting familiar with the Power BI interface. When you open Power BI desktop for the first time, you will see a blank workspace. This might look overwhelming. When you just click on this blank report, this interface will be opened, but it's organized into clearly defined areas. Let's walk through the key parts. Ribbon, top toolbar. This is where you will find basic tools, importing data, inserting visuals, formatting options, and more. It's similar to the ribbon in Microsoft Word or Excel. Report canvas, middle section. This section is called report canvas. This is your main working space. Here you will drag and drop charts, tables, and visuals. Think of it like your drawing board. Visualization pane. This section is called visualization pane. This pane contains icons for different types of visuals, bar charts, pie charts, maps, cards, etc. You click one to add it, then customize it using the same pane. Fields pane, bottom right. This section is called the Fields pane. Once you load data into Power BI, this pane will show all your columns and tables. You will use it to decide what data goes into each visual. Data view, report view, model view. Left side tabs. Report view, where you build and arrange visuals. Table view lets you look at raw data in table format. Model view shows how different tables connect. We'll explore this in later lectures. DAX formulas are used to define different types of calculations for your data. Don't worry if all of this doesn't stick right away. Just knowing where things are located will help a lot once you start building your first report. Tips for getting comfortable with the interface. Hover your mouse over each icon in the ribbon or pane. A short tooltip will pop up to explain what it does. For example, when you just hover this mouse over, and it just explains that what function does it perform when you just click on that, and you will have all the information about this interface when you just go to insert and click on this paginated reports, and it just lets us know that what function does it perform. Try clicking each view, report, table, model, or DAX query view, just to see how they differ. For example, we are in report view right now. As we are in here, when you just click on this table view, it just have a different interface, and when you just click on this model view, we have a different interface as relationship queries, and in DAX query view we have this command interface. And when you just go to this report view again, resize and rearrange your panes if needed. Power BI lets you customize your workspace. For example, you just want to expand this view, or you just want to expand this view as well, so you can just do it as per your requirement and need. This hands-on familiarity now will make later lectures much easier. Importing data from Excel and CSV. Now that you have learned the Power BI desktop interface and installed it on your device, it's time to bring in the heart of any analysis data. Importing data from Excel files. Let's start with Excel, since it's one of the most common tools students and professionals use. Step 1. Click Get Data. Open Power BI desktop from here, and you can just click on this blank report. Go to this File tab, and here is the option called Get Data. You can click on that, and you can choose any of these options, but as we are working on Excel, so we can just click on that. Step 2. Choose your file. Browse to find the Excel file on your computer and open it. Step 3. Use the navigator. Power BI will show a navigator window. Here you will see a list of all the sheets and tables in the Excel file. You can click on each one to preview the data. For example, we have only this one, so you can just check this and you can just see the data in here, as we have all these rows and columns with all these dates as well. Step 4. Select and load. When it is unchecked, then the transform data and load is unclickable. Choose the sheet or table you want, then click any of these. Load if the data is already clean and ready, but you can just click on transform data if you want to clean it in Power Query. We'll do this in the next lecture. So for now, we'll just click on this. It is loading. Once you click load, Power BI imports the data and you will see your fields appear on the right hand side. of the screen under fields pane. Here you can see we have all these columns and fields in here. So you can choose any of these to show the data. For example, if you want to see the data of total, region and item, and you can just have this graph in here, and you can choose any of these visualization as well. For example, if you want to see in a pie chart, you can click in here and this data will be converted into pie chart. And you can use a donut chart as well, like in here, and you can use any of these as per the data you have clicked on. Importing data from CSV files. CSV files are simpler. They usually contain one table of plain text data separated by columns. Step 1. Get data. You can just go to this file tab. Here's the option called get data. You can click on that. And now here's the option called text or CSV. Now click on that. Step 2. Browse and select file. As we have saved this file with this .csv extension, you can just click on that and click open. Here you can see all this data has been previewed, as all this data has been separated by commas. Step 3. Review the preview. Power BI will show you a preview of the data and automatically detect the delimiter, like commas or semicolons. Step 4. Click load or transform. Just like with Excel, you can either load the data right away or open it in Power Query for editing. So, after clicking load, here you have this data available, as the first one was in Excel sheet and the second one is in CSV file. So when you just click on these items, you can just have a graph in here, and when you just click on these any of this visualization, you have this record as well. Make sure your CSV does not have column headers repeated or blank rows at the top. Power BI will treat the first row as headers by default. What happens after importing? Once you have imported your data, the fields pane will show your tables and columns. The table view will let you inspect the values directly. The model view will show you how the data connects to other tables later on. We'll explore this in future lectures. Keep in mind, the data is stored inside your Power BI file. So even if you delete the original Excel or CSV file from your computer, it won't affect your current project unless you set up a live connection. Common issues to avoid. Missing headers. Make sure the first row of your file has clear column titles. Merge cell in Excel. Power BI doesn't handle merge cell well. Use simple flat tables. File changes. If you move or rename the original file, Power BI might lose the connection. Always keep your files in an organized folder. Cleaning and shaping data using Power Query. Power BI gives us a powerful tool to do that. Power Query. This feature allows you to clean, transform, and organize your data without writing a single line of code. What is Power Query? Power Query is a separate window inside Power BI that opens whenever you choose to transform data instead of directly loading it. It is designed to help you prepare your data before it becomes part of your report. Once inside Power Query, you are working on a copy of your data. You're not changing the original file, just shaping how Power BI will use it. How to open Power Query. After importing your file from Get Data and from Excel sheet, connect and using this one and click on open. Using this sheet. Now, instead of clicking load, click transform data. Click on this one. Or there is the second option as well to load this. When you just go to this home tab, here's the option called transform data. You can click on that, transform data, and you will have this data as we have already opened it. But if you want to open another file, you will have to close this window first. Common data cleaning tasks in Power Query. Let's go through some of the most useful actions you will need in Power Query. Remove unwanted columns. If your dataset includes extra columns you don't need, like blank fields, ID numbers, or irrelevant nodes, just right click on the column headers and select remove. When you just don't want this, for example, you have all these columns from order date, region, rep, item, units cost, and total as well. So for example, you just don't want the name column, as we don't need this anymore. You can just click on that. Here's the option called remove columns. You can click on that and remove columns. So that name column has been removed. So this is how you can remove a column in Power Query Editor. Rename columns for clarity. Clear, descriptive column names make it easier to understand your visuals later. Double click the column header or right click and select rename to give it a better title. For example, if you want to change this title, you can just right click on that and click in here as rename, or you can double click as well. So for example, you just want to rename it as purchase date. Filter rows. Want to keep only rows with specific values? Use the drop down arrow in the column header to filter out blanks or unwanted categories, just like in Excel. For example, you just want to have rows with pencils only in this item column. So you just click on that and deselect all that and click on the pencil only and click OK. So you have all the rows with pencil items only. So this is how you can filter rows in Power Query. Change data types. Sometimes Power BI misreads a column, treating a number as text or date as plain text. To fix it, right click on the column. For example, I just want to change the category of that. So just right click in here and here's the option called change type. So you can change any of these values. For example, for unit cost we have decimal number, but if we want to change it to whole number, you can click on that and it will be converted into whole numbers as the decimal has been converted into whole numbers. So this is how you can change the data type as well in Power Query. Remove blank or error rows. Right click on a row or use the remove rows options from the home ribbon to delete empty or error filled rows. For example, I just want to remove this row in here and here is the option called remove rows. You can click on that and you can just remove top rows, bottom rows, remove alternative rows or remove errors and remove blank rows as well. So you have all these options available. So for example, you just want to delete the bottom rows from in here, you can just click on that. Number of rows, for example 1 and click OK. Here you can see we had 13 rows but now we have 12, so it means that one row has been deleted as it was below this east row. Using the Applied Steps panel. On the right side of Power Query, you will see a list called Applied Steps. Here you can see. This keeps track of every change you make, in the order you make them. You can click on any step to see what the data looked like at that point. You can delete or rename steps to manage your changes. This is especially helpful if you make a mistake and want to go back a few steps. Power Query records everything you do, so your process is repeatable and consistent, even if you update the source data later. When you are done, once your data looks clean, click Close and Apply in the Power Query editor. Power BI will load your clean data into the Fields pane. Now you're ready to build reports on clean, structured data, creating bar, pie, and line charts. Now it's time to visualize it. Charts are the heart of Power BI. They help you turn tables full of numbers into stories your audience can actually understand. But not every chart is created equal. Different visuals serve different purposes. How to add a visual in Power BI? Before we jump into each type of chart, here is the general process of adding any visual. For that, you can just have an Excel sheet. We just need a data first, so we just are uploading this file. We are selecting this data so that we can apply all these charts and visualization on this data. So we are checking on that. We don't need to transform data, so we are just loading. So we have this data and here you can see we have all these columns in here, and from the visualization pane select a chart type. For example, if you want to apply a pie chart, you can click in here. If you want to apply line chart, you can click in here, and if you want to apply a bar chart, you can just click in here. So for example, you just want to apply a bar chart. For now, you can click on that. Here you can see you have selected a chart. Now it's time to drag and drop the fields that you want to apply this chart on. Drag fields from the fields pane into the appropriate drop zones like axes, values, or legends. For example, you just want to apply item into this one and region as well and total cost as well. So you have applied 3 columns in here, and here is the chart. Here you can see we have this one, the clustered bar chart. So this is the data you can have by applying these 3 items. To format this graph, you can just click in here and click on this icon, format your visuals. You can adjust titles, colors, and labels as well. For example, if you want to change the color as well, for example, you just want to change the color to this one, for example, and here you can see the color has been changing. And if you want to take it back again, black one, and you can have the y-axis as well, the title as well. You can change the title. For example, it has item title, so you can just click in here as item details. You can just rename that, and here you can see it has been changed to item details. And here is the sum of total. So when you just click on that and go to this one and x-axis and the title, you can just change it to total values. You can just rename according to the your requirements. So here you can see it has been changing. And to change other things, like we have legends, grid lines, zoom slider, you can add that. So if you want to add a zoom, so you can have zoom in here as well. And the bars you can set according to them, so you can change the color as well, series. So you can change any of these as per your requirement and the data you have and the audience especially that you are showing data to. Bar charts, comparing categories. Bar charts are great for comparing different categories like sales by region, students by department, or expenses by item. When to use: comparing across different groups or categories, ranking items from highest to lowest. Quick tips: sort bars descending to highlight the top performer. Use horizontal bars for long category names. Pie charts, showing proportions. Pie charts are used to show parts of a whole. Think of a market share, budget distribution, or percentage breakdowns. Steps to create a pie chart. Click the pie chart icon. Drag a categorical field, for example product type, to legend. Drag a numerical field, for example revenue, to values. When to use: displaying how much each category contributes to a total, when there are only a few, ideally under 6 categories. Quick tips: avoid using pie charts with too many slices. Always display percentages or values on the chart. Line charts, tracking changes over time. Line charts help you visualize trends or patterns across a timeline. Perfect for stock prices, monthly revenue, or attendance across semesters. Steps to create a line chart. Click the line chart icon. Drag a date field, for example month, to axis. Drag a value field, for example website traffic, to values. When to use: showing changes over time, tracking patterns, trends, and cycles. Quick tip: keep time intervals consistent, for example monthly or weekly. Use data labels to highlight specific points or milestones. Formatting your charts. Power BI makes formatting easy. You can just click the chart here and click on this icon, format your visuals, and you can change chart title, data labels, axis titles, legend position, bar or line colors. Always aim for clarity over style. Your goal is to make the chart easy to read and interpret. Adding cards, tables, and maps in Power BI. Today, we are going to focus on 3 key visual elements in Power BI that help you display your data in clear and powerful ways: cards, tables, and maps. These visuals allow you to tell your story effectively, whether it's highlighting a single number, showing detailed rows of data, or visualizing location-based insights. You'll not only learn how to add them, but why and when to use them. Adding and customizing card visuals. Let's start with cards. A card in Power BI displays a single value like total sales, number of customers, or profit margin. It's simple but powerful because it draws attention to a key metric. To add a card, let's have an Excel sheet in here so that we must have our data, and after loading that data, we are loading that. Now we have all these data available in here, but we want to display it in a card. Click on the card visuals from the visualization pane. Here is the card icon. You can just click on that. Now you can just drag it into the center. You can just resize that as well. Now drag any of these items that you want to display. For example, you just want to add units, you can just drag that and put it in here. Now it shows that we have sum of units 2121. Now if you want to add a unit cost, you can just drag that. Here you can see sum of unit cost is 873.27. You can also customize the appearance. Use the format panel, like in here. Click on that and here is the format panel. Now you can have calc value as well, and you can just change the color as well. For example, you just want to change it to blue one, Now here you can see it has changed the color. If you want to draw the attention, and you can have the red one as well, and you can change any of these as per your requirement. So for example, you just want to go with this one. And categorical table, we have this color, and you can just change it. Now here you can see the title color has been changed, and you can change the font as well, the font size as well. So it just depends on the requirement of your presentation. Add data labels or category labels to make it easier to interpret. You can add labels as well. You can just click on that and go in here, you click on general. You can give it a title as well. You can turn it on, and you can just give it a title as sum of unit cost. So you have the title in here as well, and you can change the color of that title as well. So you can just play around with all these visuals as well as per your requirement. When to use a card? Use it when you want to highlight a headline number, something that should instantly stand out on your report. Working with table visuals. Tables are used when you want to show detailed data across multiple columns and rows. Think of them as a Power BI version of a spreadsheet. To create a table, you can just click on this table icon, and now you have this in here. Let's drag it in here and resize that. Keep it in center. Now drag multiple fields. For example, we have items, region, rep, total, unit cost. Or you can use any of these as much as you need in here. For example, you just want to have rep first, you can just drag that in here. We have all these in here, and then you would just want to add item, and now you just want to add region, and you just want to add total as well. And you can add all these items as well, but let's assume you just want to add these items only. So here you can see you have a table in here, and you can just resize that as per the requirement. For example, you just want to add this one and this one. So you have all these total as well and all these columns as well. Tables are especially useful when your audience wants specifics. For example, looking up for sales of a particular product or comparing regions side by side. Here are a few ways to improve your table visuals. Sort by a column such as sales to highlight top performers. Add conditional formatting to highlight high or low values with colors. Use column headers and subtotals to make the data easier to read. Tables should be kept clean and relevant. Avoid overloading them with too many fields. Visualizing data with maps. Power BI offers two types of maps, the basic map and the field map. To create a map, select the map visual. For that, for example, you just want to add a map in here, and we have two maps, the field map and the map. So we just want to have a simple map. You can just click on that, and now you can just resize that, drag it into center. Drag a field like city or country into the location bucket. For example, we have region in here, and you can just drag that in here, and you can just add another column of rep as well, so that we can identify that how many cities we have in the list that have placed an order, so that we can have the visuals of data that from where the order has been placed in this table. So we have this state in here, and we have Texas, Florida and Arizona. So we have three different states. So here you can see we have orders from these locations that has been highlighted with these colors. Add a numeric value like sales into size to reflect scale with bubble size. The field map visual uses shading to represent values across regions. This works well when showing trends by country, state, or province. Make sure your data is well structured for geographic use. Power BI uses Bing Maps in the background, so it's smart enough to recognize standard place names but might get confused with ambiguous entries. Maps are ideal when you want to spot geographic trends, for example, which states buy the most. Compare performance across locations. Add special context to your analysis. Designing a simple dashboard in Power BI. You have created visuals, formatted your data, and explored charts and maps. Now it's time to bring everything together into one cohesive view, your very first Power BI dashboard. A dashboard is not just a collection of charts, it's a storyboard for your data, something that helps others quickly see what matters, what's working, and what needs attention. What is a dashboard in Power BI? In Power BI, a dashboard is usually a single page report made up of multiple visuals. It's a high level view designed for quick insights. Think of it like a summary board. You're not diving into details here. You're showing the big picture. The goal of a dashboard is clarity. It should answer key questions immediately. For example, what are our total sales this month? Which regions are performing best? Are we hitting our targets? Dashboards are especially useful for decision makers who want to see the story behind the numbers fast. Choosing the right visuals. Before you place anything on the dashboard, decide what story you are telling. Don't overload the page. Less is more. Start with these questions. What are the 3 or 4 most important insights? Do I need a card to show a total? Will a chart help show comparison or trend? Is a table needed for any detailed view? Then choose visuals based on their roles. For example, if you want to add cards for key metrics, you can just click on cards in here. Click on that and it will be placed in here. And you can just drag, for example, order date in here. And now, earliest order date in here as the first. Bar or line charts. We have bar chart in here, cluster bar chart, and the line chart in here. So if you want to add a cluster bar chart, you can just click in here. You can just place it under the first one as well or to the right side as well. This is for comparisons and trends. And you can just add values, for example, region and total. So here you can see you have a bar chart in here which shows the region and the sum of total as well. You can add maps for geographic contents. For example, you can just click on this map and drag it to the right and you can just resize that as well. And for map you have names and regions. You can add names and region as well. We have 3 different locations here. You can see Texas, Florida in here, and the third one is Arizona. So we have different colors as well, like it has red one, it has green one, and the Florida has the purple one. So you have the map that from where the orders were placed and you can just see on these maps as here you can see. You can add tables if a detailed view is needed. Use sparingly. You can just add tables. Here is the table icon. You can just click on this table icon and place it under these maps. You can drag any of these columns in here. For example, you just want first of all names and then item and then for example region, the total as well, and units as well. So you have this table in here and you can just resize that according to these details in here. So this is how you can add tables in here. You can add KPI as well for key performance indicator. You can just click on that and you can just drag in here. And for that you can just add 3 values for, you can add region, unit and unit cost as well. First of all region and then unit and unit cost as well. So it shows that we are above the goal KPI that we are already working on. Our goal was 118.87 but we are already 691, so it means we are reaching our targets with ease, you can say that, as we are 481% above our target. Now you just have to arrange all these visuals so that it doesn't feel clustered. So first of all you just want to have table in here and you can just drag any of the visuals in here and you can just resize that as in here, and you just want to have card in here so that our data doesn't mess up. And there's another place as well we can add another visual as well. For example, you just want to add ribbon chart. You can just click in here and you can add in here as total, item and region. For example, you just want to add item, region and total as well. So this is how you can add the ribbon chart in here. But avoid using visuals just to fill space. Every chart should earn its place. Designing the layout. Here's how to approach layout like a pro. Plan the flow. Place the most important visuals at the top left. This is where the eye naturally starts. Put supporting visuals below or to the right. Here you can see we have all the data in here, and you can just want to identify that. And the next visual is sum of total by region. Align visuals properly. Use the grid and snap to grid features to keep your visuals clean and aligned. Uneven spacing makes the dashboard harder to read. Keep it balanced. Too many colors, fonts, or chart types can feel messy. Stick to a consistent visual style. Use white space. Don't try to cram everything together. Let your visuals breathe so users don't feel overwhelmed. Formatting for clarity. Your dashboard should be easy to read, even at a glance. Here's how. Use titles on each visual. Keep them short but informative. Here you can see we have the titles in here, sum of units and sum of unit cost by region, sum of totals by item and region, regions and names, and sum of total by region. So this is how you can give titles to your cards and visuals. Apply color themes that match your brand or topic, but avoid bright or clashing tones. Use data labels where helpful, but avoid over-labeling. Add a text box if you need to explain something briefly. Finally, test your dashboard by asking a friend or classmate, what do you think this is showing? If they hesitate, revise. Using filters, slicers, and drill through in Power BI. Now it's time to take things a step further by making your dashboards interactive so users can explore the data themselves. Filters, controlling what the viewer sees. Filters in Power BI are the simplest way to narrow down data. You can apply them in 3 different places. Visual level filters. These only affect one chart or visual. Page level filters. These apply to every visual on a single report page. Report level filters. These apply to all pages in the report. Select a visual or page. For example, we just want to apply the filter in here. You can click on that. Open the filters pane. Here is the filters pane. You can click on that. Now you have all these items in here. Drag a field, for example region, into the appropriate filter bucket. For example, you can just click on that and we have region in here, for example, and you just want to apply filter in here. And as we have all these regions in here as Texas, Florida and Arizona, and let's assume we just want to have data for the Florida only. You can click on that and here you can see the data has been filtered. As you can see, only the data which has the region of Florida. Here you can see, you can just expand that. Use filters when you want to control the view behind the scenes without giving users the ability to change it. Slicers, giving control to the user. While filters are controlled by the report creator, slicers put the power in the viewer's hands. A slicer is a visual element like a drop-down or a list that lets users choose what data they want to see. To add a slicer, for example, just first of all just remove this one. Okay, you will just want to have all the data as Arizona and Texas and Florida as well. We have all this data in here. And for example, you just want to add slicer. Go to visualizations pane and here is the option called slicer. You can click on that. Now drag a field like product category or year into the slicer field area. For example, you just want to have a year in here or order date. You can see, for example, you just want to have a slicer of order date or year. You can say, you can just drag it in here and here you can see we have a slicer. Here you can see we have a sales list duration from 6th January 2024 to 21st of December 2025. So when you just drag these in here and here you can see the data has been reduced as the date range closes to 2025. And when you just change to this one, in this range, you are seeing the data from 16th of July 2024 to 28th of Feb 2025. And you can just reduce or increase this range to see the data in between these ranges. Let's say your dashboard shows total sales, but users want to view it by region or by year. Adding a slicer for region and year lets them adjust view instantly without needing to modify the report. You can even sync slicers across pages if you want selections to stay consistent as users move through your report. Use slicers when you want viewers to explore and filter data on their own. Drill through. Jump from summary to detail. Drill through is a powerful feature that allows users to right-click a visual and jump to a detailed report about that specific data point. Let's say you have a dashboard showing total sales by product category. With drill through, users can right-click on electronics and go to a separate page that shows detailed sales for that category by product, region, and time. To set up drill through, create a new page and drag the target field, for example category, into the drill through filter sections. Add visuals to show the detailed view. For example, you just want to have region in here as values, and you can have item and total as well. For that, you can just click in here and the total as well. For example, if you want to convert these into a ribbon chart, you can click on that. Here you can see you can convert these data into any of these. So for example, if you want to have a clustered bar chart, then you can just convert that data into here. And if you want to have a donut chart, you can click on that and it will be converted into a donut chart. Use a back button so users can return to the main page. Here's the back button, you can see, and you can just click on that and you will be on the page where you were working on. Use drill through when viewers might want to explore the why behind a number, without overloading your main dashboard with details. Publishing and sharing your reports in Power BI. You have built your visuals, designed your dashboards, and added interactivity. Now it's time for one final essential step: publishing and sharing your work. From desktop to service, publishing your report. Let's start with the basic process of publishing. After building a report in Power BI desktop, you will want to make it available online through the Power BI service. Here's how to publish. Save your report in Power BI desktop. First of all, you will have to click in here, or you can go in here and click on save. And this file has been saved as sales report. Click the publish button on the home tab. Here is the option called publish and you can just click on that. Power BI doesn't accept personal emails, as you will have to provide school or organization email to sign up. So first of all, sign into your Power BI account. As we have already signed in, choose your destination workspace. You can use my workspace to start. For example, you can click on that and go to select, click on that. Power BI uploads your report and confirms it's been published. It's been publishing, here you can see. Now it says success and this file has been published to Power BI. You can now just click on this, got it. Now you have published this report to Power BI. Once uploaded, you can view and interact with your report in any web browser via the Power BI service. Why publish? Because sharing a .pbix file is like handing over the ingredients to a recipe. Publishing lets others enjoy the finished dish. Sharing reports with others. Once your report is online, you can share it in different ways depending on who your audience is and what level of access they need. Share via link. You can generate a secure link and send it to specific users within your organizations. This is quick and works well for small teams. For that, you can just go to this share button. Here you can just click on that and click on copy link. Here it says please select more options to save your file to OneDrive. First of all, you will have to upload it on OneDrive. Click on more options and you can just go to this OneDrive and save as. You can see in here. Click on this. You can just update it to as 2 and save. Now you can share that link to anyone in your organization so that they can have the access to all this report. Workspaces. Workspaces are collaborative environments where multiple people can view, edit, and manage reports. This is ideal for team projects, departments, or class groups. Embed in websites or portals. If you need your report to appear in a SharePoint site or an internal portal, Power BI lets you embed it with a few clicks. Just copy the embed code and paste it into your web page. Important note: sharing outside your organization usually requires a pro or premium license. So make sure you check the sharing limits based on your account type. Managing permissions and access. When you share reports, it's important to control who can view and who can edit. Viewers can interact with slicers and filters but cannot change visuals or structure. Editors can modify visuals, datasets, and formatting. To adjust access, go to the Power BI service, and as we have opened account in here you can see we have opened this in Power BI, and you can just click on this share button and you can enter an email or a name, or you can just click in here to choose permissions. For example, people in your organizations, people with existing access, or specific people. When you just click on the specific people, then you must have to enter an email. But if you click on these people in your organization, then all the people who are working in your organization will have the access. But if you click on this existing access, then this won't change anything, then all the default setting will be applied. So this is how you can manage access in Power BI. You can also manage access from the dataset settings to ensure security. Always think about the audience. Do they need full editing access or just view only? Are they part of your workspace or external?